This is your warning. Don't ignore the sirens. What's happening in Los Angeles right now is not an isolated event. It's not just a city cracking down on crime or dealing with homelessness. It's the test site for something far more dangerous, the live rollout of Project 2025, a sweeping authoritarian blueprint being implemented under Donald Trump's renewed grip on power. Let's be clear. This isn't hypothetical. This isn't academic. This is happening, and it's coming for every Black and brown communities in America. What's happening in LA should be a red flag for the nation. Federal forces are already pressuring Los Angeles to ramp up policing, to take back the streets, to crack down on dissent, crime, and the unhoused. It sounds familiar, doesn't it? The language is coded, but the message is clear. Return to a fake law and order by any means necessary, even if it means overriding local control and crushing civil liberties. What we're witnessing in LA, the militarization of policing, the mass criminalization of poverty, the targeting of Black and brown communities, is not an accident. It's the real-time application of the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025 agenda, now being championed and enforced by the Trump administration. This isn't about public safety. It's about political power. It's about creating a blueprint to federalize suppression, override mayors, gut civil rights protections, and turn America's diverse urban centers into battlefields of control. Project 2025 is the playbook for repression. Let's connect the dots. Project 2025 proposes a sweeping expansion of federal police powers, dismantling the Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division, criminalizing protests, labeling them as domestic threats, purging local governments that resist federal mandates, deploying federal agents to cities deemed lawless or woke. In other words, any city that dares to defend Black and brown lives, embrace diversity, or resist authoritarian control becomes a target. This isn't rhetoric, it's strategy. Project 2025 reads like a war manual for federal domination of progressive cities, most of which are home to large Black and brown populations. And Trump's people aren't waiting for permission. They're already testing Project 2025. Los Angeles is the pilot. Your city could be next. This is the return of Jim Crow tactics, just in a new uniform. Let's stop pretending these are disconnected events. The federal push to criminalize Black and brown protests in the name of national security, the coordinated campaign to flood cities with militarized police, the move to dismantle local governance and civil rights enforcement, the demonization of so-called woke cities and communities, all of it fits together. This is a strategy, a system, an updated version of what we've seen before. Federal intervention not to protect freedom, but to shut it down, especially when Black and brown people are leading the fight. Why should this matter to every Black and brown American? This isn't just happening to activists or protesters. It's happening to everyday people. If you are Black and brown in America, this is about your child's school being policed instead of funded. This is about your right to protest without being labeled a domestic threat. This is about your mayor's authority being stripped by a federal government that sees your community as a problem to fix. This is about the next step in a long, brutal history of using law enforcement not to protect Black and brown lives, but to control them. We are running out of time. This is not the future. This is happening now. We are not preparing for a potential assault on civil rights. We are living through it. If we don't act now, Project 2025 will become our new normal. And what's happening in Los Angeles today will happen in Atlanta, Chicago, Houston, and every other Black and brown stronghold in America, starting tomorrow. What's the critical next move? 1. Call it what it is. Don't let the media sugarcoat this as a policing issue. It's a coordinated federal overreach, a soft coup against cities that dare to defy the Trump radical agenda. Say it, post it, write about it, share it. 2. Organize local legal resistance. Black lawyers, community organizers, and justice advocates must form rapid response coalitions to challenge illegal federal actions. Prepare lawsuits. File injunctions. Use the courts, but don't stop there. 3. Mobilize political power. Mayors and city councils must take bold stands, push back, pass sanctuary laws, refuse federal deployments, fund community alternatives. Don't wait for it to reach your doorstep. It already has. 4. Educate and activate. We need mass education campaigns. Project 2025 must become a household name just like COINTELPRO and Jim Crow. If people don't know what it is, they won't know how to fight it. 5. Vote, vote, vote. From your local DA to the White House, every vote matters. And don't just vote. Protect the vote. Watch the vote. Organize around the vote. Because that ballot is your last line of defense. This is not a drill. We don't have the luxury of time. We don't have the option of waiting to see how bad it gets. This is the moment. The sirens are blaring. If we don't organize, educate, and fight back, then we are surrendering our cities, our communities, and our children's futures to a federal regime that sees black and brown freedom as a threat. They are not coming to save us. They are coming to silence us. Will you answer the call?